because, like, don't get me wrong, like, you want them to be hard, but you don't want them to be overbearing. But, like, difficulty settings in this game can either, like, be really good, or they can, like, fuck it up a lot, because you're trying to do too much with, like, the AI systems. You got Fyra, you got Thunder. Oh, yeah, right, no, it was the white magic I was going for. I think I need one more, yes. So I got Kira. Got that one. I don't need that. That one is the one I want. But, like, it's the same with, like, the different strategies and stuff that you had to use. Like, these, like, that's what the older style of these games was. It was strategy. Like, if you... Yeah, and that's why I think, like, most of them, like, for the most... Okay, that was another way out. What? But that's where I find, like, most of them, when you're, like, doing stuff like that, that's where the secret bosses come in. Like, make it so that it's, like, average to play. You don't have to be, like, you know, a try-hard like myself for RPG games, but you also don't have, like, you don't want it to be so that they can just, like, walk through absolutely everything. But you want to give those people who, like me, want it to be hard. Like, you know, obviously not overly, like, I don't want to be in the game and then just start raging through my skull. So that's why you put in, like, the optional bosses. Gonna have to get a drink soon. And friggin' stack their difficulties through the roof. Because it's something that, like, it doesn't matter if you do it. But if you do it, it's gonna give you some excitement. One of those. Like friggin' prime example is the optional weapons in Final Fantasy VII, or Osmos in I don't know why I went there. Osmos in Final Fantasy IX. Like, you don't need to fight them, but if you do, it's fucking awesome. Like, they're a night. Yeah, exactly. Like, have those optional caves that you don't even have to touch. Wait, what? Yeah, exactly. Like, if you want, like, those beastly weapons and fucking insane gear, like, go do that. Or, like, the side quests with it. Like, Final Fantasy IX, where you get some of the best weapons by doing the Chocobo side quest stuff. Like, the friggin' treasure hunting with it. Or, like, Final Fantasy VIII, doing the card game that they had to get, like, some of the best items to put some of the best stat boosts and stuff on yourself. Because, like me, I love the optional quests, because, like, in almost all games, because that's what they do. They give me the loot that's gonna make me fucking OP, so that when I want to go and do something really stupid, I don't die right away. Like, right now, I know I'm supposed to go down there to the Elf King fucker. But right now, I'm looking for different towns to go into so that I can get extra stuff. While, you know, floating around, killing everything in sight. I want to get to this next boss, and I want to look at him and go, hey, bud, how's it going? You get to die now. But, like, Uh, ha... What level were you? Because Sephiroth didn't take me near an hour. I fucking rocked him. But like I also had like I destroyed the fuck out of that man. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then. My god, there are so many enemies. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes I always go after him at max level. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense then, yeah. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I usually walk in, like, Mastered Knights the Round for everybody. Mimic Phoenix with, like, the death thing on it so that if anybody dies, just people come back to life. Omni Slash already at the ready. But like, that's like when I go in somewhere, I'm usually like tanked out of my mind. Same with the Pokemon games. Like, Pokemon games, I usually have like Charizard before, like, because I always go Fire Starter because I love my Fire Starters. But like, I usually have like Charizard before like the first fucking gym, and I'm just like, hey, how's it going? Yeah. Like the first time you fight your rival, I've got my second evolution for like every Pokemon that I've decided to catch. And he's just there and he's like, yeah, let's fight again. And I'm just like, okay, man, like this is your funeral. Okay, I feel like there's supposed to be something around. Oh, look, ogres. So yeah, man, don't bother doing. Just make sure I'm not dead and everything's fine. So what? Really? Are you sure? It's like, yeah, I'll be okay. No worries. But like, I love doing side quests. Oh, look at that. Legendary Warrior. Kill 500 enemies. But like, I love doing side quests just so I can get like the beastly stuff. And how well do you remember 1? Because I feel like there's something that was supposed to be in here where I'm like currently at that's not. Hello, Falcon! Thou hast arrived! How goes the things and the stuff? I feel like this is the door. Yes, it is the Dwarven Cave. You just stole my shit! Nice, nice. I like Rocket League, but I could never get, like, really into it. Oh, okay, it's been a while since you played it. I can understand that. Because, if I remember correctly, when you go to the place I'm at where I have to go to that elf town, I gotta save the elven prince from the dark elf guy. The friggin'... That elven town that you go in is supposed to have like a $2,000 like silver sword, if I remember correctly. And it doesn't. Oh, you're looking for Smithy. Really? Your dwarf is your dwarf is called Smithy? Okay. Smith. Gotta find me some adamantite. No, like from the actual shop. Like I remember there being like a silver scimitar or something like that in the shop in the Elven town, and it being like 2,000 gil to buy. But like I went in there and it just wasn't, and I was like, what? I was like going around killing things to get money. Actually, you want to know what? I'm gonna check that right quick. But I'm gonna save first, because that's one thing. Oh, I can't save in here. I'm gonna quick save then, because I keep forgetting to save. Yeah, Elfheim. Okay. No, that's not the one I want. So, Elfheim. Let me see here. Enemies. Item. After speaking to the prince. Many found in the shop. Let's see. Items. Many found in shops. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. Yep, it was a mithril sword. Okay, it was a PlayStation only. That makes sense. No, never mind. It was in the NES. Yeah, it was they had the iron nunchucks, dagger, crosshair, saber, and a mithril sword, and I was wrong. It was 4,000. Right? Just started playing Apex, eh? This is one of the best seasons they've had in a while. Like, I love Apex. I was supposed to be doing Apex today, but my usual Apex partner is playing D&D today. So I decided to start Final Fantasy, so I might do it tomorrow. But yeah, I knew it. I knew it was supposed to be there. It was supposed to be a $4,000 mithril sword, and it's not there. There's a giant rock in me path. But I knew I wasn't going insane. Well, oh, missed a key. Okay. How are you liking Apex? Yep, it's not there. I saved up the money because I knew there was an expensive weapon for the fighter, and I wanted to do my usual. I wanted to get it. But nope. Not there this time. It's whatever. I'm still pretty beastly right now. Okay, yeah, that's the bridge. Yeah, I knew I wasn't going crazy. Do you usually play shooter games, Recon? Would you like me to? No? Okay. Hot stuff coming through. Okay. Coming over to Apex, getting sick of the hackers, eh? Yeah, it didn't even have to say it. Well, like that's right. And like a lot of the big names are like the big Warzone names are coming over too, which is funny. And the thing I find really hilarious is that some people aren't liking it because they're getting like the shit kicked out of them in Apex, and I'm just sitting there and they're like, this game just isn't fun, and it's like, well, like it's a different play style. Like if you're like if you're good at shooter games, then you're gonna be decent at all of them. Like it's just the way it is. You're not gonna suck switching over. It's gonna be like a learning curve depending on the way things are. But you're not gonna be as good at one as you are at the others, depending on the Switch. And Apex is definitely, like, a different Switch. Like, the movement is very, very important. Like, Warzone is very, very gun specific. Oh, let's see if the Black Mage gets shafted again.
Of course.
Oh, of course, you're getting more health. And oh no, Keo got a little. Oh, Keo got some decent stat boosts this time.
Woohoo!
But yeah, that's one of the big things I find is that, like, Warzone is definitely very, very gun specific. If you don't have, like, guns with decent attachments, if your guns aren't leveled up. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I find if you're not, if you don't have specific guns, and if you don't have, like, your guns leveled up, then your chances of winning are practically zero. And if you're not ready to, like, you know, camp in a building to get somebody. Like, I find Apex, like, even though I'm not, like, a hugely aggressive player in shooters, like, especially, like, Apex, I find that if you try to camp at all, like, your chances of winning are very, very, like, low. It definitely rewards a more aggressive playstyle just for the fact that the way the shield system works. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I didn't like Warzone. Is like, don't get me wrong, Warzone wasn't terrible. Like, I liked it for what it was. Like, it was fun. It was definitely, like, a different look on Battle Royals, like, coming from, like, I used to be, like, a PUBG person. So, like, it was definitely a big change, especially, like, after Blackout. I loved Blackout, and then Warzone came out, and it was a, like, really good thing to do. And I wasn't as big into Apex. But, like, that's one thing I hate about Warzone is the loadout system. Like, if you get these people, like, if you put the same people with the same skill, if one of them has their loadout and the other one doesn't matter if they're skilled or not. But, like, Apex, I find Apex, if you can have pretty much, like, any gun at all, and if you're the better player, you're gonna win. Like, it's all about skill, it's all about movement. Like, you can have whatever gun is there, and it's just a matter of being better than the other person. Or getting ridiculously lucky. Because that will also happen. Because, like, I'm not overly good, I'm not hugely good at it, I get my wins here or there. I get, like, some, like, okay kill games, but for the most part, I die. But, like, I have fun doing it, because, like, the movement, like, the abilities, like, getting in there with, like, you know, a buddy is just, like, insane. It's so much fun. Exactly. Or, if you have, fucking, I'm trying to remember the name of it, the newer one, doing zombies to get your fucking levels up. But yeah, it's all about leveling up your guns, which I think is just, I don't like. It's like, oh, well, I haven't, you know, spent forever and a day in here getting my levels up, or used some money to get my levels up, so I'm just gonna, you know, stay here and suck. Oh, that was the wrong way. Oh, we got the Ogre Chief. Oh, he's gonna hit me hard, isn't he? Yep. Yeah, Cold War, there we go. Well, like, that's what I mean. Like, if you're not willing to sacrifice a bunch of, like, time into getting your friggin' guns up, in Warzone, you're fucked. Unless you manage to pick up somebody's fully kitted weapon. And that's another thing I find is, like, these people coming over from Warzone are realizing that is, like, you know, I can't just, yeah, exactly. I think the mentality that I hate the most is, like, I heard it from a couple people who have actually, like, interviewed some hackers and stuff like that. When they see them hacking, they invite them to a game to get them on their team to see what's up. And their mentality is, well, like, if everybody else is, if they're not going to stop us from hacking and everybody else is hacking, why don't I? And it's like, what? Like, that is the stupidest mentality I could ever think of. It'd be like walking around, it's like, well, like, if they're letting other people get away with, like, robbing a grocery store, like, why shouldn't I? Or, like, you know, if, like, this person, if there's murderers out there, you know, not get caught for, like, fucking killing somebody, it's like, why don't I go out and do it? I realize those are obviously ridiculous ends of the spectrum, but, like, it's kind of the same mentality. It's like, if these people are getting away with it, why shouldn't I? And I'm just like, what? Like, why would you think that's even remotely okay? Like, especially with, like, a lot of these, like bigger name streamers and stuff like that are coming over because so many people are hacking. It's like, you're fucking up their livelihood. Like, I realize most of the time it doesn't matter what you're playing, because, like, a lot of the people that, like, follow people for streaming follow them because they like their stuff, which sucks. Are you playing on PC or console, Recon? Creaky. See how the enemies are in here. Creaky. Get on my way, bat. There we go. Ah, skeletons. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, like, it's ridiculous. Like, I had a feeling it was PC, because, like, obviously it's a lot less prevalent when you're doing the, console. But it's still there, like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's there regardless. But, like, I don't understand how people... I don't understand how people can have fun like that. I really don't. So there's two up that way. There's one down that way. Ooh, gargoyles. Yes, okay, that's good. That's what I want to see. But yeah, like, I don't, like... I sit there and, like, I see people, like, hacking and stuff like that, and I don't understand how it's fun. Like, especially the ones where it's, like, automatic, like, lock-on headshots. And it's just like, what? Like, how are you enjoying this game? And it sucks. And, like, I 100% understand you there. But, like, friggin', like, I don't know how, like, I don't know if it's still the same way, but I remember when I used to play it and stuff like that, turning off the crossplay, it took so much longer to get into a match. Like, it wasn't even funny. Like, it would take so long. Yeah, and, like, it was terrible. Werewolves. werewolves, they just look like green wolves. But, like, that's one of, like, obviously there's hacking and cheating in Apex. Like, every shooter game's gonna have it. Like, that's gonna be regardless, because there's just garbage people everywhere. But, like, friggin', I actually find that crazy. Because I found that when I used to play Apex on PC, and then I went for one of my a mutual friend of mine and somebody else was like, yeah, man, like after playing PC for so long and getting so good with like aiming and stuff, I went back to console and fucking like I'm just beaming people. Hey, Carp, what's going on? How's things? But yeah, like he's like, yeah, like I'm on console right now and I'm fucking like destroying people. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way in hell that it's gonna happen. And I went back to console with controller and I was like, oh my god, like he's right. I'm like beaming the shit out of people. Like obviously I'm not as good now because like things have changed, the game has changed. But like I couldn't believe it. Like I haven't played PC in a while, obviously. But like I found my skills improved when I went from console to PC. Just because I was so used to like aiming ahead, I guess. I honestly find that the aim assist gets in the way more than it does helps me. I don't know how many times I've been sitting there firing at somebody and their teammate is like running away from my teammate and they pass in front of me while I'm shooting somebody and it drags the cursor like off of where I'm shooting when I'm like beaming somebody. Yeah, I find like I don't find it helps as much as like most people think it does. Like don't get me wrong, like it does definitely give an advantage, but I find it's more of an advantage in like the closer fights. But anything like mid-range to long range, PC is just superior by far. Like there's no fucking like chance at all, because it's so much easier to make those like pinpoint those pinpoint corrections. Because like don't get me wrong, like I've been getting like really good with my sniper shots recently. Some of my sniper shots have been insane the last like week or so. But like when it comes to like snipe, yeah, exactly. But like friggin' like the quick scoping or like the quick sniper shots, like trying to do that on console is definitely a lot harder than it is on mouse and key. Oh no, that's the way it was. But like then there's also the whole thing of like skill gap. Like if you're a bad to okay. Exactly. But like if you're sitting there and you're like friggin' if you're like a bad to like mediocre player on console, on controller, you're gonna almost always destroy an average to okay player on PC. But if you're like a good to like professional player on mouse and keyboard, you are absolutely, like, for the most part, like, obviously there's always going to be exceptions, almost all the time you're going to fucking shit on somebody who's playing controller. Just cause like that's how big the skill gaps can be. Like just like the sheer movement. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you're cracked on mouse and keyboard, like you're just insane. Like you just have to think. If like if you know how you're flicking, and you know where they're at, like flicking back and forth between people is just insanity. Friggin' to do that on controller, you have to be a god. Like you have to be godly at it. And there are some people